Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. All right, welcome to tonight's show. It's good to see everybody tonight. Tonight's show, I got something I want to talk about. Okay, and this affects not just the black community, but also the interracial community, the people that swirl to investment, like myself. Okay, and if you see the topic there, it says, "Is there a gender war in the black community?" Okay, and are white men the solution to black women? Okay, and we could ask the same question: Is Becky the solution to Tyrone in this so-called gender war? Okay, if that's what you want to call it. We know there ain't no fighting out in the street and like we picture war, right? People unaliving each other. But there's something going on. Okay, everybody knows there's something going on in the black community when it comes to black women and black men. Okay, what that is, okay, I don't know exactly, but I see some things going on. All right, and I want to talk about this, and I'm going to have an open panel. And if you want to speak on this, I would surely love to hear what you have to say because I'm learning. Okay, uh, being married to a black woman over 29 years, I see some things, I learned some things. Okay, but do I know what this really is? No, not exactly. I got my theories, I got my opinions, and stuff that I've witnessed and experienced. Okay. But I'm going to show you guys some videos. Okay. And I'm going to put the link up there. If you want to jump on, go ahead. Trolls, if you come up, I'm just going to delete you. I ain't got time to play games. But because I do want to cover this tonight. Okay. And this ain't a bash. I'm not here to bash anybody. Okay. But I'm going to be honest. And I'm not going to coddle nobody either. Okay. I'm going to give you my opinion straight up how I feel on this. Okay. But this is a learning thing. And I think something's going on. And it's affecting the black community. It's affecting the interracial community. And, I just want to learn about what's happening here. And I'm going to give you guys my opinions because I've been observing, what's going on. And I've seen it for years. I've never really paid attention so much till later on. I see more things happening. And then social media. Okay. But I want to show you these TikToks and what these people are saying. They are some black women and black men and their opinions on some of this stuff. Okay. And we'll start right here.
I see a lot of.
Okay, this is a black man's opinion on black women dating white men. Okay. And I just want to talk about this and give my opinion also on this.
When I go out in public, I see a lot of black women with white men holding hands, making it obvious that they're together. And stuff like that never used to bother me for real, but it's just an overwhelming amount of black women I see with white men. And at the same time, I'm observing the hatred between black women and black men at an all-time high. And it's like you put it together, and it seems like black women are going to white men because of the negative way they look at black men. But this is the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with dating outside your race, if that person makes you happy. But if you're dating outside your race because you hate your own, that's not love. That's a problem. And I gotta say, this shit breaks my heart to see that this is the way that black women feel. When I go out and
Okay. Now you see what he's saying, right? He's saying it's breaking his heart because there's hate between black women and black men. Okay. I don't think there's actually, well, there might be some hate, but I think some things are going on. And I think, in my opinion, I think because there's an imbalance of black women and black men, and so many black women that are being race loyal in this kind of thing, that we're black women are having to date and marry down because there's 2 million more black women than black men. And I think there's some resentment there. I think, and there's some insecurities when it comes to black men, because when a woman's outperforming you financially, when she's the breadwinner, I believe a lot of us men, we feel some kind of way. We don't feel good about that. Okay. And I think that creates some issues. Okay. And well, we got some people popping up. Yeah, I'll let you guys up here real quick, but let me finish this real quick. But that's what I think's going on. And look, I always said that men need to be the breadwinners. Men need to be with a woman at the same economic level or below. Okay, she's got to be below us. But women, it's the other way. You're either equal or above. And that way we can feel like, man, like we're doing something that we got, we're providing. We feel good about that. And women feel good when a man provides for her. It's a natural thing. But anyway, I think that's what's going on a little bit here. But let me bring these two up here real quick, and we'll talk a little bit about this, because I know you guys got some things to say about this. And look, I know a little bit about this, but I'm kind of outside looking in. Okay. But anyway, let me bring you guys up. Welcome, Michaela. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong.
It's Michaela.
Michaela. Okay, I'm sorry. And then Shelly Beautiful.
Hello.
Welcome, ladies. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I see some things going on. And when it comes to dating, marriage, and all that stuff, I think there's something going on in the black community. In fact, I know something's going on. We all know. Okay, when it comes to black women and black men. And I think there's some jealousy with black men, and I think there's some resentment with black women. And I think it's has to do a lot of times economics. Black women are passing black men in education. They're moving up in the corporate ladder. Not to say there aren't successful black men, but what I'm saying is it's kind of creating an imbalance. And black women, if they're going to be race loyal, they're going to have to date and marry down. I mean, because there's just so many more black women. And if you add black men dating and marrying out more than black women, and then the incarceration rates, and then, the black on black violence, it just creates an imbalance. I I think that's some of the things leading to this so-called gender war. People tell me there is one. People say there isn't one. But anyway, what do you ladies I think? I'm here to listen and learn about this. Um, you know.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. No, everything that you said was pretty spot on. Um, and also, I like to add the fact that when Black men do make a certain amount of money, I think it's over $100,000, um, they tend not to get married as opposed to white men or non-Black
Mhm.
men. And they also choose not to date Black women as
Mm.
well. There was a I think she was African. I don't remember her name, but she did come on and say that Black women need to open up their options because what she was finding out, I think she was like a date, like I don't want to say dating coach or something, but
Mhm.
like I think a relation. I'm sorry. Um, what do you call those people that try to hook people up together in relationships? What was she again?
Dating coach
Oh,
sis.
the date, right, a dating
They-
coach, and
yeah.
she brought it up. She said these black women would come on and they would be successful and educated, and they made over a certain amount of money a year, and they only wanted to date Black men. And what she found out that the opposite, it was not reciprocated.
Mm.
I'm sorry, these Black men were not trying to date Black women. Excuse me.
I
Yeah.
agree. I absolutely agree. Everything I've heard so far is spot on. But I do kind of want to get into the war aspect. I'm like,
Okay.
and I do believe there is a war, but not the one that people are making it out to be. I'm like I'm new to your channel, so I don't. I'm
Oh,
sure
okay.
that you have heard about this, but black femicide is
Hmm.
something that is happening very, very frequently, and so black women and girls' lives are very much in danger. Okay,
Hmm.
um, I'm like, and as someone who has grown up, and I'm like in those environments, I'm like you. I'm sure you would not believe what I have seen. Okay, I'm someone who who has worked in a lot of women's shelters,
Hmm.
and you would be surprised and shocked what I have seen. So I do believe there is a war, but the war is on black women, and I feel like black men, on the other hand, are like when black women name the things that are happening to black women and black girls, what they are doing is they like to deflect.
Mm. Yeah, I mean I've seen some things going on where black men on social media will go in on black women, from silly things like weave and makeup, to just saying horrible things. And I've seen it in real life also. And it just seems like there's an
It
atom.
happens when we're children.
Oh, okay. And it's like there's some kind of animosity towards black women, some kind of anger going on. And I think sometimes it's jealousy because black women are excelling. Black women are doing amazing things when it comes to education, when it comes to the corporate world. Um, Black women in the medical field. And black women are amazing, and it they have a way about them. When they're determined, they make things happen. And not saying other women aren't doing it either, but black women are surpassing not just black men, but other groups of women also. And I would say men too. I mean, um, they're just doing it, they're making it happen. And I think there's some jealousy there. And I think when the income gap rises and the women are the breadwinners, I think that creates problems, and I think women need to be hypergamous. And I know some people think that's a wrong thing. No, it's not. Um, it's just a natural thing because men, we're supposed to be the protectors, the providers. We're supposed to be the ones that take care of things. The woman's supposed to be loving, nurturing, and make the our house a home, sort of say. And when the income switches, it kind of takes us out of that element into something that we're not used to, and it's not natural to us as men. I would say that across the board. And in my culture and the way I was raised, I wouldn't try to date an attorney or a celebrity because of that. She's way out of my league. She's way above me. You know what I'm saying? I don't see myself even having a chance, and I shouldn't, right? But someone that's you know upper middle class like myself, that's the woman I should be with and build with. um and it works out better. It's more of a healthier relationship. um and I think that's what's happening, and I think black women need to open up their options. I'm not going to say all black women go find you a white man and it's going to be awesome. No, but what I would say is have that option button open where you have men competing for you. That way you can meet your economic level, and I think we would be healthier as people. This stuff with being race loyal, this thing that's going away. Regardless of what people think, as we go in the future, it's going to be about survival, and we need to be with that person that's on our level, I think, and it'll be a healthier relationship. And and two, when black women, I think, date and marry out, I think that makes black men have to compete. And men are better when they have to compete. Men are better when they have no choice. I think a lot of times black men are coddled, and black women uh, kind of, lift them up and, yeah, coddle. And I think that's a problem. But we just lost. Okay, but sorry about that. But that's my opinion on that.
Also, I would like to add as well that a lot of it is stemmed in jealousy, but also it's the fact that if you put the attention on someone else, then you take the attention off of you.
Mhm.
So, in other words, what they're doing by constantly talking about Black women and their weaves and um, the fact that they're going out to get college degrees and how everything is the mother's fault. They was raised in single homes with mothers and so forth, is to take off the attention that they own nothing, they don't have any resource, they have never built anything. And
Mhm.
so if they can take the focus off of their shortcomings by casting the focus on somebody else, so they cannot therefore um do better. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
then they're like, well, it's not my fault because you see, I was raised in a single household, I was raised by a single mom, and it's all the mother's fault. And so they're casting the blame to take off the fact that they have nothing
Yeah.
because who yeah, you know what I mean? So that's a part of it too. And some people, they I think they call it punching down because they
Mhm.
can't go up against the white man because the white man have the uh the army and the resources and so forth, so they can't go after him. So who are you going to go after? You're going to go after the weaker, quote unquote, vessel. You're going to go after the person that's beneath you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna punch down on you to take
Mhm.
the pressure off of me because I can't punch up because then I'll be obliterated. So that's
Yeah.
a part of it as well.
Yeah, I would like to say, young lady that fell off, if you want to come back up, go ahead and hit the. All right, sorry about that. My internet connection. But yeah, StreamYards is acting crazy. I guess they don't want me to talk about this. But if you get kicked off, jump right back on, okay? Uh so I would love to hear you talk about this, but what you were saying, Shelly, um yeah, I think that's part of it, punching down, because sometimes when men are insecure, they'll take it out on like their wife or even children. When things ain't going right or they're having issues. Um, but as men, I think what we need to do is just be men and be the provider and just pour in everything. And don't stop blaming women. And my advice to black men would be, and I know I'm gonna get hate on this. Quit blaming black women. Just stop it. Okay. If she excels over you and she's doing better, just admit she's doing better and find you a woman at your level and be a man and build with her. Okay. And regardless of the race, look, really, this ain't a race thing, it's an economic thing. Um, and I think black women need to be with the men at their level, education wise, success wise, and that might be a man that's a white guy, an Asian guy, uh, and I think we'll be better off as people when we're in our economic level, and where we can play the roles we need to play as men and women. Okay. I feel much better when I'm paying the bills, when I'm providing. Uh, there was a couple months in my life where my wife made more money than me because of something that happened to me medically. I jumped in. I never stopped working, and I made sure I was a provider because I just I just been raised that way, and I didn't feel right like a man. I didn't feel like I was doing what I'm supposed to, and it just didn't. I just wasn't having it. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? And I think men, we need to be like that. And it's not that we're trying to outdo our wives, but we're just trying to be the man that God created us to be. And that's what we need to do. Um, and when you're seeking a woman for, marriage, you need to think about that economic thing. Because I married my wife, Sandy. We're both middle class, right? When we got married. So it worked. Now, if I would have married somebody that was a doctor or an attorney, it just would be lopsided because she'd be making a whole lot more money than me as a soldier back in the day. And I think that would have been a problem. Not because there's not love there, but just because I can't fulfill my role because she's already outdoing me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where that so called gender war a lot of times ends up becoming that conflict. Um, and I hated when Kevin Samuels would tell black women date and marry down. No, that's the wrong answer. At that, well, but he's kind of right. If you're staying race loyal, you have no choice because there's just so many more black women than black men, and black women are excelling uh past black men. They just are. And that's not a dig. It's just black women are amazing and they're making things happen. We got to give them credit. We got to give credit where it's due, you know? And us as white men that might be at that level, we got to step up our A game to be with the black woman, to be at her level because she's really doing amazing things. And that's what we need to look at, you know? But, but I think this gender war thing, and I wanted to talk about this because it really affects people like me and my wife Sandy, an interracial couple, because since I've been on YouTube and through my life, I've gotten hate from black men. My wife has too. And it seems like some animosity and some anger. And the crazy thing is the enemies I have, it's like they're more mad at my wife than myself because they look at her as being a traitor. They loosely use that word bed wench freely. And to me, that's disgusting. Um, and as a man, I would never attack another man's wife, girlfriend, or family members. I just think that's just unbecoming of a man. It is disgusting, and there's no place for it. But some of these guys are so jealous and so upset and angry, they'll attack black women, and not just when they don't like what they're doing, but when they date and marry out, especially white men. A lot of these beta dumplings out there, and I call them beta dumplings because these are the ones that depend on women, that exploit women, that expect black women to be there and do everything for them. That's not what a man's supposed to do. But this kind of hits home because I know there's some people that would say, why are you talking about black people's issues? You don't need to be. No, well, it is my issue because I'm married to a black woman and I'm impacted directly in this because of jealousy, because of anger, insecurity. And there's a lot of black men that have that. Okay. And not all, of course, but there's a lot of them that do. And I'm just trying to unpack this thing. And I think the best way to handle this is black women putting themselves first, black women being with the men that deserve them, okay, at their same economic level, and black women quit providing for men. That's not your job, okay? It's not. You're better off with an Asian guy that takes care of you than a black man that's going lay on your couch and you got to take care of him. Okay. And look, this ain't a racial thing. This is an economic thing. This is a relationship thing. It's about your health. It's about you being happy, you being provided for. A woman ain't supposed to be out here working two jobs. That's our job as men. Okay. We have more upper body strength to work physical labor, to protect the women, and the children. Not to beat up on them because we're stronger. No, it's for protection. But anyway, I'm sorry. If you want to interject, just go ahead. Sometimes I get carried away.
No, it's okay. No, everything that you're saying is right, and I like your perspective. Also, I would add that what I find out with a lot of black men is that black men are hypocrites, and I didn't realize that at first. Um, but when they see a black woman with a white man, and it goes back to what I said about punching down, they're going to
Mhm.
go after her because they cannot necessarily go after you. So they're going to call her a bed wench.
Mhm.
However, what black men want black women to do is hate white men on behalf of them,
Mhm.
because what they would do is bring up the fact of slavery and what the white man has done, but it's only the white man. And yet and still, when they date white women, they don't they don't ever think about Emmett Till. I had this
Yeah.
discussion with a black man. And he said, anytime he sees a black woman with a white man, he thinks about Bedouin. She thinks about how the slave master would R her and whatever. So I asked him, I
Mhm.
said, well, every time you see a black man, do you think about Emmett Till and how that white woman lied and how
Mhm.
that's how he was unalived? So they don't view white women as the same as white men, even though white women owned slaves and white women were there at that time when there was slavery, when they were, hanging, doing all of those stuff that happened during
Yeah.
that time. White women were right there, but for some reason they don't hold white women as the same as they hold white men. So that is where it comes from. And they
Yeah.
talk about oppression, about how the white man oppressed us and during slavery, but whatever. But they don't say anything what when they date the woman that give birth to their oppressors. you know so they're a
Well,
bunch of hypocrites. That's what it boils down to. It's jealousy. It's hate.
mhm.
They hate the fact that they were conquered. That's what it boils down to. And when they see the quote unquote conqueror with
Uh,
quote unquote their
well,
woman, they get upset.
honestly, yeah, they were conquered, but it wasn't uh white people from America going into Africa conquering Africans. That didn't happen. Black people were sold in the transatlantic slave trade, and
Exactly.
if you study it, black people were selling other black people, conquered tribes, and there was so much logistics getting black people out to the shores to be sold, to be traded for. Um, and that's really what happened. We white people in America didn't, roll up in Africa and run through the jungles and deserts of Africa, rounding up black people. It didn't happen that way. They were sold. It was a slave trade. It was a trade. They were trading human beings for uh, rifles, gold, alcohol, tobacco, um, and that's what it was. It was an evil thing. There's no excuse what our nation did, but people need to understand the whole world was involved in slavery. It wasn't it wasn't something that white people said, hey, we hate black people, let's just create this slavery thing. No, that's been happening since ancient time. The Egyptians did it. The Romans did it. They did it in Africa. They did it in Asia. They did it all across the world. And it's an evil thing. It should never happen. We should never treat human beings like livestock, like property. Okay. And if you really unpack it, the transatlantic slave trade, only about 5% came to America. The rest went around the world. The Spanish slave trade was a lot bigger than ours. That's why you got black people in South America, the Caribbean, spread all over the place, right? It was a worldwide thing. Um, the Arabs were involved in it. And if you study what they did in the Sahara slave trade, they were much more brutal. They would take the women as wives and concubines, and then the men they would castrate and just have them to do work. Um, I'm not saying that any slave owner was kind, they weren't. They're all wrong. Some were more abusive than others. But what I'm saying is, we're so focused in that, and so many people playing the victim, that we can't get past this. The slave owners and the slaves are no longer walking the earth. Okay, they passed on long ago. We are a different group of people. uh White people that are in America aren't the same white people in the 1800s. We're different. Yeah, there are ancestors and this and that, but we're different people. And I think we just need to come together, understand what happened, don't forget, learn from it, but move forward. Live in the here and now. Too many times we live in the past. And yes, poor Irish were slaves too. Um, They were sold in Indonesia. Um, Irish were brought to America for indentured servitude. And I didn't mean to go into a slave history thing, but I'm just putting it out there. Study it, learn it. Okay, it's an evil thing. It's not something I'm proud of at all. It's disgraceful. It was wrong, but it happened. Ain't nothing we can do about it because it's already happened. But can we make the world a better place? Sure. Let's focus on that. But anyway, sorry, we lost
Mhm.
oh, we lost another one. What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, let me put the link back up because I don't think people are just jumping off. I think yeah. Hey, if you got kicked off, jump back on. I don't know why people are falling off. It's weird. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, if you come up and if you get knocked off, just come back up. I don't knock anybody off the panel unless you're cursing me out and being crazy.
Right.
But yeah. But anyway. Oh, here we go.
I have some
Okay.
slave history.
Okay.
My great grandmother,
Mhm.
her mother, which would be my great great grandmother, was a freed slave as a child. In 1865, she was freed along with
Okay.
her family, and she was like 3 or 4 years old. She was a toddler,
Mhm.
and I never knew her, of course.
Yes.
Um, but we did find um, a painting of her um, when I was in my 20s, and my great grandmother had passed. We found a painting in her
Okay.
house,
Um
and the painting was of her mother, which, like I said, is my great great grandmother. And
yeah.
uh, the date put her at around 16, and
Okay.
I was identical to her at that
Yeah.
age.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Hey, Indiana mom, I appreciate that. I don't want to get caught up in the slave trade. Um, no, I mean that's really awesome, but I just want to get on this gender war thing.
oh,
Um,
yeah. Oh, I
I
forgot about that.
yeah, I kind of carried it too far. Well, I'm not going to say too far, but I kind of drifted into the slave thing,
You took a
trying to
left
explain
turn.
it. Yeah, I was trying to explain it like, it's a worldwide thing, not to excuse what we
Oh,
did
it is.
as a nation, but I'm just saying, we need to take it in perspective and live in the here and now. But,
Absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, I know you're not offended if I talk about slavery, and look, I'll talk about it, but the thing of it is I want to talk about what's going on with this so-called gender war, and why what's happening is happening, and how do you fix what's going on? I got an idea. I think women, especially black women, go put yourself first and go to the man that's at your level, okay, economically. Okay, because I think you'll be better off. I think it'll be a healthier relationship. Us as men, we're knuckleheads, right? And when women are outdoing us, we don't feel like a man. I'm just being honest, okay? I was, there's a couple months in my life, my wife was out doing, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. I didn't feel good at all.
Hmm.
Okay. And it wasn't that, hey, I want to show I'm better than her. No, it wasn't that. It's just like, I want to provide for her. I don't want it on her shoulders. It needs to be on my shoulders. And, and as men, we need to be that way. You know, and even the most beta males out there that want to find a woman to take care of them, even they don't feel right because it's not natural.
You know, I think
Mhm,
I think it goes, especially with like the Black community,
mhm,
which I'm not really a part of, but I can speak for that just
mhm.
as a Black woman because I watched my grandmother and my mother go through some horrible stuff. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's almost genetic now. It's so weird how literally Black men are the only men that expect to be taken care of.
Mhm.
Like like white little white boys, Hispanic boys, Asian boys, they grow up being told this is what it is to be a man. This is what you need to do to be a man. This
Yeah.
is, you have to take care of
Um,
your family. You have to do this. You have to take that step. You have to follow this path. Yeah, and Black boys don't get that because their fathers are never around. So it's a perpetual state of a never-ending cycle. And everywhere they go, they expect to be taken care of. And when the woman is like, because we instinctively know we're supposed to be the ones taken care of. We're
mhm.
supposed to be the ones that are protected and provided for.
Yeah.
It's instinctive with us.
Yeah.
And when that stops happening and the woman is like she's working 3 jobs, she's paying all the bills, and he's just sitting on the couch playing video games, women are like, no, we're done. And
Yeah.
then they don't change anything. They just leave one couch and move to another one, expecting to be taken care of. And it only lasts a few months at a time. And the whole time they're making brand new babies. They're causing pregnancies. They're making unfulfilled promises. And then when things get real for them,
Mhm.
they just pack up their bags and they walk away. And I think I swear it's genetic because even
But
the ones that grow up in 2-parent households, they do the same thing.
yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Hey, Stephanie, welcome.
Hi,
It's good to
Stephanie.
see. It's good to see you again.
Hi, hello, Indian Mom. Hi, Brent. How you doing? And Shelly.
Good. Good.
I
How
love your
you doing?
picture.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been watching for. I know I haven't been on live, but I've been watching. I gotta go back on here and hit the like and share.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, I think it's a gender war, and because I'm black, obviously, it's
Mhm.
embarrassing. What other group does that?
None.
But I know it's embarrassing, and the thing is, uh, I like what I've seen as far as um black women going out and starting to get the men that consider them. Like
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am.
Serena, I'm so happy for her. They just had a son. And I'm just so sick of people, people were saying, "Oh, why is she with a white guy?" He treats her well. Not, he loves her, she loves him. When she was with other black guys, different ones, they did not treat her well. This
Mhm.
white guy came up to her himself. They started talking, obviously cared for each other, got married. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. And
Yes,
I
Yeah.
say,
ma'am.
who gives a damn what they think?
Hey,
You
that
know?
that that's right. And look, there are so many successful couples, black
Yes.
wo- black women, white men, and not just celebrities doing well. And
Yeah.
think about that. Celebrities, um, that's usually the marriages that don't last in Hollywood. And you think Serena Williams and her husband, they set a milestone because usually celebrities change wives and husbands like they change underwear. I mean,
She's like-
honestly, but yeah, they got a good marriage. Look at Eve. You know, she married her billionaire
Oh, yeah.
husband. You know,
And
and go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, and they're doing awesome. You look at my marriage with Sandy, 29 years. You look at Indiana Mom and her husband, 29 years. And we're
Yep.
everyday people. We're not celebrities. Our marriages are working.
And there's more. Like you had Lauren and Cameron on. Well, remember you had on the screen Lauren and Cameron from Love Is Blind.
Yeah,
They're doing really well. And then also there's Maze Lee. She's black, African American. Her husband's Korean, and she had 3 children before she got with him. Now, no, 4. Now they have 4 together. And I think they just went to Korea to visit, where he came from, and they're all happy. All the kids call him Alpa, whatever you call, whatever the name is. But they've been married for years, and people are making fun. They've been married for years, and she's.
Oh, I've been watching Chili. She's dating Matthew Lawrence, and I've been seeing their little videos of them all dancing, and oh my God, she's so happy.
Hey,
and some people can't understand, and I keep saying, even one time when I said it's not. I said yes, the person happens to be white or Asian or Hispanic, from another community or nationality, whatever. But the thing is, it's not the color; they just happen to be that color from another community. Mm-hmm. It's the thought process. When a lot of black men get money, they say, "Oh, let me go out here and get all these women." Not individually, but collectively. When other communities go out, we get money, they say, "Oh, let me build a legacy. Let me go get married." Mm-hmm. And so it's a different mindset. And it's also embarrassing. Black guys are asking, "What do you bring to the table?" Excuse me? What do you bring to the table? Are you kidding me? Nothing for you.
Huh? You know what, ma'am? I don't bring anything to the table. I am the table. What are you bringing to me?
Well, I say there's 3 things a woman needs to bring to the table, okay? Number 1 is love. You got to love who you're with. Number 2 is loyalty. You got to be loyal. And number 3 is just bring your beautiful self. Exactly. That's what's required of a woman. Yeah. Now, us as men, guess what? You better build the table. You better take care of the table. And then you better provide the cushions for the table.
Yes, sir.
And you better make sure your wife has a seat and your children do too. And you're the last to sit down. And you sacrifice for everyone.
Yes, and she's going to nurture that. She's going to nurture that. I'm going to tell you, and that's going to be a home.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what? No matter what, I haven't worked in 34 years outside of, doing my own thing with my coaching cheerleading and coaching dance and stuff. There's no way my coaching is enough income to provide for myself. I do that for fun. Okay. My husband ran a business, a family business that he started, and he took care of us. So when we first started really dating, he was like,
we got some noise. Hold on. We got some. Okay, stop. Okay, wait. We got some noise interference. Make sure your devices are turned off around the computer, because I think somewhere we're getting a double feed. And I just don't want to get the static where we're not hearing each other.
Yeah. But I mean, he comes home, he pays for everything, he provides everything. He does what he's supposed to do as a man. And when we first got together, I said, you know what? I don't have a lot to offer, because I was still kind of in that Black woman mindset that I saw my mom go through, where I thought that I needed to contribute or whatever. And he's from the opposite kind of family. And when I was like, I don't really have a lot to offer for this relationship, he looked at me like I had corn growing out of my ears.
Hey, right?
And he was like,
Interesting to me.
babe,
Few people have
Okay.
commented.
all you got to do is show up. All I need is you. Period.
Hey guys, as we're talking, I want to show these videos, these TikToks, and we'll talk about give our opinion on these.
All right.
I think these are, and we'll just go in order and stuff. But let me show this here.
This is so interesting to me. And a few people have commented this, and I haven't done any research myself yet. Also, I'm at the pool right now. Black women, go outside. Go outside, get chocolate this summer. Anyways, that was our segue. I believe that we are more successful with white men because, and it's just a theory, I think because white men don't try to suppress us and don't try to like make us submit as much as, like, for example, black men. Because and I don't like pinning black men against other races because black men have been through so much more trauma than other races of men. But that term submission looks differently with different races. And I believe that white men don't want to suppress us into submission. They want us to just be ourselves. And we like that. And I think that's why we do better. That's just my opinion.
Okay, what do you guys think about that? Suppressing black women in the submission. And I agree with this. Now, I don't know totally for sure, but I believe this. When it comes to submission, okay, it's biblical, right? That wives are supposed to submit to their husbands, right? But it also says that men are supposed to love women like Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. Mm-hmm. So it's a two-way street, right? Mm-hmm. And I think with submission, I think it needs to come natural. I don't think we got to tell a woman, even our wives say, hey, you need to submit to me. And no, if she loves you, she's going to submit to you. But if you love her, you will love her like Christ loved the church and you will give your life for her. Okay. I
agree with her for the most part.
Yeah.
But there was one, I'm not sure exactly what she said, but there was one red flag statement where she was almost coddling or giving black men an out.
Yeah, it was coddling.
And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. But the rest of it, I agree with her.
It sounded good. What do you think? What do you think, Stephanie?
I think, like Indiana Mom said, she was coddling because if you want to even just look at black women, if they want to look at we're women and then we're black, so it's like a double whammy, but that doesn't stop us. They're mean. This is so I think that there was some coddling there. And I agree with you also that it's going to be natural for a woman if she feels emotionally secure with the guy she's with and she feels that she can trust him, that he's going to protect her, then she's going to naturally submit to him because she can trust him.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, hey, you need to submit to me. That's ridiculous. They lead with their egos, and a lot of them don't understand how to lead. They think they're supposed to kind of hit their chest, you're supposed to do what I say, but you don't even know how to lead properly. Because you don't even, first of all, know how to treat me.
And look, the man in the relationship's a leader, not a dictator. You're not you're not going to beat submission out of her. Mm-hmm. If you're doing what you're supposed to, she's going to submit to you.
And the only demographic of men that are constantly, I'm alpha, I'm a leader, I'm a real man.
They're really not.
It's always the black guys saying that.
Yeah.
You don't if you're a leader in alpha, you don't have to say it. All you have to do is walk in the room. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words, truly. Shelly, what did you think, young lady?
I agree with everything everyone said. Yes. The
Mammy jumped out of her. Yeah, because
For a hot minute, right?
yeah, like I was like, here we go.
Girl.
But let me say this really quick though. It's so funny how anytime the coddling of black men is because of something, is because of their trauma, is because of what happened in the past. And black men don't give us that grace. You understand? It's we're bad, we're this and that. And it wasn't because of our trauma. It wasn't because I don't want to bring up the S word again, but it wasn't because of that. It wasn't because we're treated differently in the
Girl,
workforce because of our natural hair and stuff like that.
it's
They
because
don't give us
it's
that
because of our
grace.
it's because of our weaves and wigs and the fake
Exactly.
lashes. That's what it's because of.
Exactly. It's not. We don't never get grace for our trauma, and that is exactly why this is a gender war. Is because of black women we're noticing is that when they go through struggles, we understand, right? We give them
Yeah.
grace, but when we go through stuff, we're not given grace, and that is actually fuels with the gender war as well.
Yeah. Hey,
And when they go through their struggle, it's like the whole world lines up to pat them on the back. Oh, poor black man. Oh, poor baby. But when it's black women, all we get is, well, you should have chose better. Well, the single mom, blah, blah, blah.
Most of them aren't better though. It's a rarity. So you're bound to keep on hitting the wrong one. And how old are you gonna be before you hit the right one? So it's not worth it.
Thank you.
Hey
The odds
guys.
are
Yeah. Hey guys, I got another one. This is black women, white men dating each other. This is from a black man. Okay.
Oh Lord, like I need to see Sean Tavius in a wife beater.
Okay, well let's hear him talk first before we judge. Okay?
I need a drink.
We got to make it fair. We're letting black women talk now. We let
No, okay.
Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Let's hear the BS.
Black women and white men dating each other. Do I have a problem with it? No. My motto is date whoever makes you happy. But are white men attracted to black women because of the way how the black women have always held it down for black men? Black women have always been on the front line and holding down the black family? Or does black women see in white men what they don't see in black men? I don't know. Leave me a comment. Black women and white men dating. What's your opinion?
Dude, it doesn't matter. What you think doesn't matter.
Okay, hold on. But no. I mean, what he just said, right? I think it made sense. He wasn't, going out calling the black woman a bed wench and the white guy, a peckerwood or fetishizer or whatever the names are. He didn't do that. He says, be with who makes you happy. And the point I seen was like, maybe black women or white men see how black women hold it down for black men and they're for black men. And maybe they see those qualities. And that's right. Because when I look how black women and look, black women have poured out everything in black men. Okay. I've seen it left and right. And that is something that's valuable. Of course, as men, we want a woman that's going to be there for us and give her all her love and everything, right? So white men and other races of non-black men are seeing that. And they're seeing, wow, I want that in a woman. I want her to love me like that. And then two, he said that maybe black women are seeing something in white men that they don't see in black men. And I don't know who this guy is. I don't know, but him just saying that and not getting it caught up in his emotions, like some of these dudes will, and start yelling bed wench and cracker and start going into a frenzy and getting jealous and crazy. It seemed like he spoke logic, you know, and like I said, I don't know this guy. He might be jealous. He might, but it sounded like he was speaking facts instead of emotions and anger and jealousy.
Yeah, no, you're kind of coddling because
Okay, well,
honestly,
no, I'm not trying to coddle him.
mm,
What I'm saying is, I'm just listening to what he said.
yeah, well,
Okay.
if he's okay, if he's
Okay.
okay with black women dating out, he should have just said that and left it at that and not asked anybody's opinions because he just wants an argument. He just wants somebody to show up and say, "No, that shouldn't happen." Yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling
Oh,
it.
okay.
I'm not
Okay.
feeling it at all.
I hear
And
you.
he's just another Dusty. And
Okay.
no, I'm not feeling it. He should have
Okay.
just left it at let everybody be happy. Everybody date who you want to date and marry who you want to marry. He should have just left it at that and then shut the hell up.
Okay. Okay. God v Goddess says, I'm not mewling for nobody. I wish my hubby would change. I would be gone. And said, Brett, you're too naive about black men's ways. Maybe I am. Look, I don't think it's that. I think sometimes I just want to see the best in everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
no. Yeah, no.
I
This nigga was gaslighting and playing head games and trying to garner sympathy and being like, "Oh, you're that one good black man. You're that one good unicorn. Oh, you're a good black man." No, shut the fuck up. Go away.
Okay. All right.
I don't care if he thinks that it's okay for me to date a white or marry a white man. I don't give a fuck.
Hey,
He
hey,
means nothing to me.
yeah, I get you. And look, you're a black woman. You see more of this. Look,
I
I'm
see
looking.
it all the time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But I was trying to see. Okay, I was trying to see the kindness, the goodness.
Yeah, no,
Like
there was no
but
kindness or goodness.
but like I said, I don't know him. I mean,
He's full of bullshit.
it sounded good, but
Yeah,
anyway.
no.
But anyway, okay. What'd you think, Stephanie?
Tell me
No,
I'm wrong.
I definitely see both sides because he could be slick with it, and
Yeah.
I do see that. But however, even with the slickness, it that is, I think, like you said, Brent, that white guys do see how black women are loyal to black men and how we treat them, and how black men, this is like they get upset with it because they don't know how to treat us, or I don't know, they probably look less than a man. And then also, they white men, or men from other communities, they'll have a conversation with you. They'll consider you as a partner, and that's what we want. So we're gonna go gravitate with someone not because they're white. We're gonna go to the community because of how we're being treated and how we treat each other.
Okay. Wow. God, that'll get you got. You have to protect Sandy. Well, look, like I said, I don't know who he is. It just sounded good, okay?
Well, black
I
men as a collective do not
okay.
protect or provide for women or children.
Okay,
That's
I got
That's
you.
that's the only way they're gonna get
Okay,
any kind of submission.
hey, I get it. Let me explain. I can't
I'm
even
sorry.
explain.
I love you, Brent.
Hey, I'm just saying. Look, I'm
just one.
I'm not coddling him. I'm not saying he's a good man. I'm just saying it sounded good. He had some good points. Okay, I'm not going to say, "Hey, dude, welcome to my home. You're a great guy." No. I'm not. Hey, guys, and Godiva, goddess. Look, I'm not. Look, I what he said. He had good points. I'm just saying that. I don't know him. I don't trust him because I don't know him.
Well, that's the
But-
problem. Some of his points
Uh-huh.
were spot on. Spot on. But then halfway through, he twisted it around
Okay.
and used I can't even explain it. But yeah, maybe you do have to be a Black woman to have heard
Mhm.
or read like between the lines. But I'm telling you, let Sandy
Mhm.
watch this video and ask her what she thinks of it. And I
Yeah.
promise you, I promise you, she will agree with
Yeah,
she'll be like,
she will.
yeah, his points were okay, but then he should have stopped at everybody. Just date who you want and be happy, spread the love, period.
And here's another thing. Why talk about Black women and white men? I don't talk about Black men and white women. Why would I?
But you notice he didn't mention Black women with Hispanic men, or Black women with Asian men, or Black women with Arab men. No, it was specifically Black women with white men. That tells me that he's kind of trying to weasel his way into the Black woman's psyche.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to mess with our minds so that the fence sitters might consider him because he might be that unicorn.
You know what? And that's a good point. And look, hey guys, this is what I'm faced with. And tell me, is something going on? Because look, I would love to believe this is a good man. Okay. Coming from my Christian belief, I would love to think that all of us as men are brothers and we want the best for women of all races. Yeah. That's what I want. Now, is that what's happening? No. But here, yeah, I kind of lost my thought, but like I said, I don't know him. Anybody can say good things.
Okay, but look at you. Look at you. You're in a nice shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Your beat is on point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've made yourself presentable and handsome, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Now, you're welcome. But when my husband comes home after being out in the field with my son, training the horses and walking around and muck and shoveling poo out of the barns and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And say he wants to go out just to get something to eat, like at the Mexican restaurant down the road, right?
Yeah.
He will specifically tell me, babe, let's go get something to eat. And I'll be like, okay. He's like, okay, get ready. Let's go. Okay. And, I might change my top.
Yeah.
And put my hair up and squirt on some perfume or something. But he will always be like, is this shirt okay? Should I change? Do I need to change my shirt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
And this.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look.
Jackwad is making a video about relationships, and he's wearing a freaking wife beater. And look at his mustache and his beard. Come on, really?
Yeah.
No.
I get it. Hey, who hadn't spoke on this? Shelly, did you get it?
Shelly.
Yeah. Yes. Hi. What is the woman that was just Indiana Mom?
Yeah,
Yes.
into him.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree with her.
Thank you.
That's what he was trying to do. You didn't pick up on it, but as a
Yeah.
black woman, um, and I agree with the I can't, for some reason I can't see the name, but the woman in the red dress, I agree too. But
Stephanie.
most Yes, but most of what Indiana mom said is correct. It was like a dog whistle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe black women see something in white men that they don't see in black men. So what he wanted, like Indiana mom said, is for black women to come up and say, no, I have a good black man, and I have a
Oh,
provider black man. It's to make him feel good. That is what that was
Yes,
all
ma'am.
about. That is
hey,
what I'm telling
Yes.
you.
hey,
I'm
hey.
telling you.
When you're done, I got something to add to this, and you guys are going. Your eyes are going
Thank
to
you,
shift.
Shelly Belly.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
one more thing I want to add. I noticed what he said. He never even said, that maybe, when it comes to white men dating black women, that, could it be possible that white men just like the way or love the way that black women look? When I had
Mhm.
my afro, when I used to wear afro, I got more attention from white men than I did from black men.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Hey,
Absolutely. It's
hey.
also the treatment as
Yes,
You,
well.
ma'am.
you know what? I love the afro on black women. I remember back in the 70s, the Foxy Brown look. The afro, the hoop earrings. I just love that look. And when my wife takes her braids out, and I'll help her take her braids out, and her hair is just thick and healthy and it's just poofy. I tell her, hey, just wear it like that. That looks awesome. But she's
Yes.
like, no, I need to get it rebraided. But I just love that look. It's like it's natural, it's healthy, and it just and forgive me, us white men, we just love to touch the hair. I look. I just can't. And she's like, okay, go ahead. So I'm like, all right.
Well,
but but seriously,
Tree
I like that look. Yes, but look.
Tree Tree helps me take down my braids.
Hmm.
My cousin Keisha does my braids for me. I am like her little guinea pig,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm all for it. But when it's time for my braids to be redone, um, a Tree helps me take down my braids, and it's like a whole thing. We have snacks. We put in a movie. We're watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and he's helping me unbraid my hair, and we're nibbling on snacks, and we're having a good old time. But he has said that when my braids are all taken down and I have that literal afro, and I wash it and condition it, and um it naturally dries, and it's literally an afro, and he wants me to like keep it that way for a couple days,
Yeah.
because he plays with it, he runs his fingers through it, he's like, oh, your hair's so soft, oh, I love it. But the reason most of us alter our hair
uh-huh.
is because as children and teenagers
Uh-huh.
and young women, we have heard everything negative about our hair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's psychological. I know it is. And look, what you were talking about intimacy when taking look, and that is like an intimate moment, helping your wife take out her braids. I mean, my wife likes it. I like it. Look, and I don't know what it is. It's like a spiritual thing.
It
But
is.
Yeah. But you're
But
absolutely right. But
as a
any,
Black woman, our
yeah.
self-confidence collectively,
Uh-huh.
we have been so beaten down about our hair, our bodies, our makeup,
Yeah.
that that even though a lot of us know that other men appreciate us for how we look, like especially white men. White
Hmm.
men love us.
Oh, we do. Yes.
Yeah,
There's
we
no doubt.
boo boo. Tell
Hmm.
me something I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
but we've been so beaten down as children and teenagers in our
do,
in the years that
do you mind if I take him down?
God, please.
Okay. All right. He got a
But
little too much for me.
we've been we've been beaten down so badly
Hmm.
that it's what we know, and it's what we do.
Yeah.
um
Uh,
my my husband has been like, why don't you just, he's like, your hair is so beautiful and healthy and soft, and he's like, why don't you ever just leave it the way it is?
yeah.
And me, even though I have a lot of confidence in myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the confidence in my appearance is still based on society.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go out in public with my afro.
Yeah.
Even I just don't. I'm
No,
more
I
comfortable with my braids, and that's how I want it.
yeah, and you're right. My wife, look, what you're saying, my wife has said the same thing. She don't feel comfortable wearing the afro, and she looks beautiful with it. But it's psychological and being beat down. Look, when it comes to black women, I've always loved black women. And look, whether she had a weave, a wig, braids, or her natural hair, I always thought black women were beautiful. And whatever style my wife wanted, I always supported it. If she wanted to get a weave one time or get braids, I I, I would let her do that, because regardless of the hairstyle I like, it's more important that she feels confident and she feels good with whatever hairstyle she
Yeah.
has. And regardless of what she has, she's beautiful. So I, and the amazing thing about black women's hair, and this is a beautiful thing, black women can change it up and have a different style more so
Yes,
than
baby.
any other group of women. And,
We
and
sure
look,
can.
and black women's hair, it grows up. Everybody else's grows down. That's I don't know. Maybe there's something spiritual there. Um,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
yeah, and look, I've loved black women's hairstyles, even the Jericho back in the day. My wife looked beautiful with that. I thought,
Oh, dude,
and
no.
and people tell me, no, 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 not that.
No.
But seriously,
No, no. No, no. When I was in elementary school, my
uh,
mom got me the black women in the chat.
mhm.
Let me know that you understand. My mom, and when I was in elementary school, my mom got me the carefree curl.
Oh, okay.
Lord. Oh, no. No, it's not okay. It's not
It's not okay.
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 No.
Uh,
No, because I had to spray activator on every morning, and it was greasy and it dripped, and it stained my clothes. It stained my freaking pillows. It was everywhere. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And once I hit middle school, and I was living with my grandma, and she was like, "Do whatever you want with your hair."
Yeah.
I started using. I fried my hair, but I started using like the straighteners and the curling irons, and I was doing the big hair thing, dude. I have a picture of myself at 16 with like the big rocker chick hair. I went and frosted my hair. I got frosted tips. So I had my black hair, right? But all the tips were blonde.
Okay.
And
we just lost
oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah, we just lost gosh. Hey, you can come back up if you want. I know sometimes it gets kicked off. Hey, I got this other video. I got a couple more I want to put in here.
Okay.
And but Jerry Curl is a no-go.
Jerry Curl, Jerry Curl, all that crap. Yeah. It's a big no-no.
Okay.
It was horrible.
Why is it that every other race of man, whether it be white, Chinese, Indian, whatever race it might be, why is it that every other race of men treat black women better than black men?
All right, what do you think about what she said?
Right on. She's point.
You agree with that?
Absolutely.
I agree with that, but we're going to hear black men's reaction.
A black man like myself, I'm not praising no white woman or no Asian woman. I'm only looking for a black woman.
But who was saying she was
praising?
But do you think that TikTok? Because I wasn't praising.
We got compared to
definitely
what
a
comparison.
White
man, and
definitely a comparison.
And in that comparison, we got the shitty end of the stick because we were being defamed in the same situation of saying, "Oh, they're better than us in this category."
Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you think? Hey, Rain, welcome to the panel. Good to see you.
Nikki got the shitty end of the stick because white men are willing to protect and provide, and niggas only want 50-50 and submission.
So
that's the problem.
Yeah, but she's saying, okay, that other races of men treat black women better than black men. I agree with that, and I'm going to get hate for it. That's fine.
Absolutely.
But that's my opinion. I believe that. I know I treat black women better than black men do. Better than I could even say better than all men.
My husband treats me better than my father ever did.
Yeah, but then the guy was saying that she was praising white men or other races of men. She wasn't praising them. That's an observation. She didn't.
Okay.
She said, no,
whatever. I'll praise them. No problem.
Okay. What did you think, Stephanie?
I think she's right, but then it's not a matter because the guy's white. Is if you go down to be considerate to have a conversation. Black women, when they talk about their feelings, it's not she's just being dramatic. They're actually listening to her, seeing what she has to say, working with her as a team. They need to look at the characteristics of that person. We're not because it's black and white. It's because of how a certain community moves in the thought process.
Yes.
If he would sit there and learn a little bit instead of using ego, he would learn a lot.
Yeah, instead of worrying about who she's lifting up or praising, listen to what she says.
Okay, or who she's sleeping with.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we just lost Rain. Hey, Rain, come back up. I wanted to hear what you have to say.
That's the problem. That's the problem with black men. They are too worried about who Black women are sleeping with.
And instead of building a connection, you worried about sexing her up, or she looking good. Well, come on, I'm a person. Talk to me. Get to know me.
Exactly. They don't care. They don't care about making a connection, things in common, common goals, building, protecting, providing. All they care about is what's your body count?
Yeah.
How many dudes have you been with? How many baby daddies do you have? Yeah. That's what they're concerned about.
I understand a woman can't be a baby mama without a baby daddy. You can't do it by yourself. So for every baby mama you're talking about, it's like, sure, a woman can be within 9 months of carrying a child, he can have so many different women pregnant. So they sound ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Okay. I have 3 kids. And they're all adult. And they have a father. I'm not a baby mama. And the reason I'm not a baby mama is because I don't have kids by a Black man.
Okay. Hey guys, let's go in order, because we're kind of taking over and the other ladies ain't getting. So Shelly, welcome back. What did you think about that?
The woman was absolutely correct. White men do treat Black women better because it's not Black, and this goes on the topic. It's not white men that's coming up here saying that how other races of women are better than Black women. It's Black men. It's not white men that's coming up here saying that Black women are only worth $5. It's not white men that's coming up here and saying that, Black women's hoo-ha stink, and it's not white men that's talking about our hair, about how we're bald-headed. It's not white men, other than that white guy that snatched the wig off of that Black woman. Black men have been doing that for so long, snatching the wigs off of Black women and laughing about it, and putting it all over social media. It wasn't white men that did that. It was Black men. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to make a point. How about us as men just show women love in general and not worry about who she prefers or who she's praising? Just show her love. It goes a long ways, because even if she's not into you, someone else might appreciate how much love you put. I'm just saying, and I think us as white men, I think we do a better job of expressing our love for Black women. Those of us that love Black women and want a relationship. And I think maybe it's because we don't feel we have automatic access. We got to work at it. We got to prove ourselves. And if we truly love Black women, we can express it. It's natural. It's like, I can say I love Black women and I mean it. And my life reflects it. And I'm not worried about, how does she feel about me compared to Black men or Asian? That don't matter. Really, as long, I know I'm going to find a woman that's going to love me like no other, right? And I found that. But they're looking at the specific woman, what she said, and what's that got to do? She might not be meant for you, but you show her love and respect. That goes a long ways. That's going to bring value to you as a man, I think.
But
you're right. You're right.
Let me say this really quick. But it just goes to show how when they would sit down and compare us to non-Black women, it was okay. But you see how he got in his feelings when he was compared to white men. You see, they don't like it when it's done to them. And I feel that Black women need to start doing that. They have compared us to non-Black women. And this also contributes to Black women low self-esteem. This also contributes to why black women don't like their hair, because you're saying those races of women are better. So if they're better, their hair is better, their skin is better. You understand? But you saw how he got in his feelings. They don't like it when the tables are flipped. And let me say this one last thing, and then I'm gonna pass the mic. In the beginning, when you played that video about that black man in the car, and he was like, black women hate, black men and blah blah blah. He never brought up the fact of how black men treated black women. It was just black women hate us, and that's why they're going with white men. I'm sorry, but he never brought up what the contributing factors. We're sick and tired of the comparison. We're sick and tired of the polyamorous relationship that we have. They we pour out into them, they don't pour out into us. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad, and also interracial marriages and dating with black women and white men have gone up.
Yes.
Yay.
Sure has.
21% from 3% in 1980. No, not
Thank
21.
God.
Not 21, 12. But it's higher than 12, but it might be 21%. But it went from 3 to 12% from 1980. That's 4 times. Okay? And let that sink in. We're growing fast, black women, white men, and we need to, because we are the power couple. But anyway, 23%, is that what it is? You know what? I'm seeing it all over the place. I'm seeing black women, white men couples all over the place. I'm seeing younger couples, and that's encouraging. Back when me and Sandy were married, we stuck out like, a turd in a punch bowl. It was something people didn't see a lot. Yeah.
For us? Yeah. For us? Oh, dude.
Yeah, you know Gen X, we
my God. We were the only black woman, white man couple on the whole campus when we were in college. And
oh gosh. Yeah.
And our friends were like, you guys are perfect for each other. My God.
Let me drop the link again. We lost Rain. We need to let Rain talk, because we're kind of Rain. You come back up. I'm sorry, we're getting carried away in the discussion. Hey guys,
but the black guys on campus, hated it.
Yeah, let's make sure we make the conversation flow, because I don't know if she dropped off or fell off, but we're kind of not getting to everybody. I just want everybody to be able to talk, and I'm guilty of that because I talk so much.
Oh yeah, me too.
But really do you want to put like a time limit, like each of us like get 2 minutes or something, and then we pass?
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, because we get passionate and we start telling, and we want to share everything, and I'm not, I just want everybody to get a chance, and she's fell off a couple times. I wanted to hear Rain's comment. I just but hey, Rain, if you're out there, I would just like if you come up and just tell your opinion and talk to you a little bit. I'm sorry, we need to do a time limit, because
that will work. And Rain is honestly, that's my youngest daughter's actual name.
So, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Rain.
Hey, I got a couple more videos here, and I want to save the last one because the last one's going to be the most triggering. Okay.
I mean, I know my girls have been
could not agree more.
On your lives before. My shy girl, she's my older daughter. Her name is Sawyer. And
sweetheart, I'm
my
not trying to
younger
be
daughter.
sweetheart. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm sorry because this is Brett's show. I'm sorry. Can he please play the video so we could? The topic is the gender war. Let's discuss the topic at hand, please.
All right,
go ahead, Brett.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear what this young lady has to say here.
I could not agree more. There is a statistic that Black women, white men couples are like the least likely to be divorced, are the most financially stable, the women are the happiest, and it's just one of the most stable couplings in the United States. And it's just honestly like when I see a Black woman, white men couple, like I'm just like secretly just like rooting them on and like cheering for them because I just know from experience like there's so many Black men that have like threatened Black women for dating out that
All right. So pretty.
She is. She's real pretty. Yes.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Okay. Well, what do you think about that? What she said. That she roots on interracial couples, Black women, white men, and then the threatening part, and then I'll let you guys go, and we'll start with Indiana Mom and go down.
I don't really see it a whole lot myself personally, but that's because we live in the country, and there really aren't any Black people in our area. There are occasions when I go to the one of the truck stops for gas.
Okay.
And there's a Black guy and he's a trucker, and but it doesn't even really matter because the people that work in the truck stop know me, and it just nothing ever really comes of it, you know. So I'm in a safe place and I'm happy.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. All right, Stephanie, what do you think?
As far as her saying how, unless I missed it, how the guys get upset about it.
Well, what she was saying is, when she sees interracial couples, because what's happening is Black women, white men are more successful, and she's saying she cheers it on. She likes to see it. And then she went to the threats of dating out.
Right.
Yeah. And is that a real thing? I'm going to say, yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I just wanted your opinion on that.
Yeah, and I think maybe because it's maybe jealousy or because then they're going to be looked at as they're the problems. But when you look at the dating, they have they're lowest when it comes to everybody else being successful with them because they have to deal with what's in. Stop dealing with the ego. Stop being the victim and deal with your issues.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem with going to God. We don't have a problem going to counseling. When are they going to start going? Well, whether they do or not, they don't. Who cares? We're not going to be with them. That's on them.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be with them.
All right. Okay,
they don't
Shelly.
Think they're wrong. They don't think they're wrong, so that's never going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Shelly, what do you think?
I think the reason why is because we represent the white man is the provider and protector for his race, and Black women are the provider and protector of our race. And so when the two dynamic meet, white men don't have that ego that Black women should submit. I mean, he is the alpha man. So there's nothing for him to require of me. When I date white men, I'm never asked to submit, never. So I think that that's why it lasts because, like you said, Brent, um, and um, and Stephanie, and um, what is Idaho mom? She said that when
Indiana mom.
India mom, I'm sorry, when white men date us, they want to know us. They want to know us, our character, and that it helps the relationship. They want to know us. When it's black men, they lead with their penis. It's it's always sexual. That's all the conversation always goes there. It's never let's go hiking, let's go pottery, let's go painting. What do you like? It's never that. So the dynamic is different, and that so it's actually leading with more of a genuine relationship, and that's why they last longer. Also, yes, I have been threatened. I have been called bedwenched. I have been told to come back home,
Yeah.
and I don't know where home is. So yes, everything that she said was spot on.
And you know what the crazy thing about that bed winch is every since I started doing this channel and I brought my wife on to share our story. There's always been a beta dumpling dude that has attacked my wife and called her bed winch, which my wife has never said anything negative about nobody, hasn't even put opinions on YouTube. The only thing she says is her love for me and our family. And these guys have made it a personal thing to call my wife a bedwitch. I got this one beta dumpling idiot that does it all the time. And it's like he attacks my wife more than me. And I'm like, dude, attack me. Leave my wife out of it. But yeah, there's that attack. And there's that thing against black women that date out. They feel some kind of insecure way. They feel like it's weird. I don't understand it. When a white woman dates a man, black or Chinese or whatever, I could care less. That's her business. That's her life. That's how I look at it. And usually white women, they really don't care who I'm dating either. There's some angry Karens that do care. But other than that, it's like we're just living our lives in today's world. And it should be that way across the board. Not saying there ain't no crazy Becky's out there or Brad's, might feel jealous, but you don't really see it. But anyway, hey, Rain, welcome back. How you doing, young lady? It's good to see you.
Hi, Brent. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I just came in to say hi. Is there a gender war in the black community? I don't know. Are white men the solution for black women? That would depend if black women have problems. I don't know, Brent. I just like who I like. I did see that clip that you shared with the guy. I just think black women need to move more in silence and stop broadcasting their every move. It's clearly irrelevant who you like and why you like them, and no one deserves a response to it. I think at this point it's kind of redundant and irrelevant to focus on, especially from people that aren't in your relationship. So I thought it was a little mind-boggling that he was more concerned with people outside of the relationship rather than the people that are actually in it. And I just think maybe it could it just be white men just like black women and black women just like white men. It just is what, that could just really be what it is. It's nothing extra special about it. It's like if you find commonalities, then there you have it. But I will say I have seen an influx of interracial relationships amongst Black women with white males. And I will say that it's a different aura and there is a different energy flow. And for me, in my opinion, that's the energy that the Black woman should always have and should always carry. So, yeah, but I just think we need to move more in silence and definitely not respond to people that are irrelevant. I don't think he was genuinely asking. I do think Black women are slowly awakening to the statistics. And just like this young lady in this picture, she seemed surprised. And she seemed like, okay, let me exercise my options to realize that men with my phenotype aren't the only men that exist. So, yeah, that's pretty much it that I have.
Yeah, that's those are good points. And yeah, and it is nobody's business. Look, who you're in love with that loves you, that's your business. Hey, hey, hold on. Can you guys mute? I'm getting some background noise. Okay. All right. Yeah, guys, if you got background noise, can you mute? Because it's it's hard to hear. But I agree with you, Rain. It's the people in the relationship. It's their business, and and like you said, Black women and white men, they just attracted to each other. They get together, so let it be. Why is it got to be somebody's business? And why are we focused on who's dating who that looks different? Who cares? At the end of the day, if you find someone you love that loves you, you found a blessing.
Yeah.
That is something that's very valuable. That's something that not all of us have in this world. So we need to embrace that and quit worrying about who's dating who. Who cares? If you don't know them and you're not in a relationship, then what are you talking about? And I like your point. And that's really what it is.
Also, Brent, I'm sorry. I was gonna also add, I see a lot of humility and humbleness amongst Black women and white male couples. Always, anytime, even as a younger girl, they just carry it differently. They don't brag. It's genuine, and genuine love doesn't need to always be flashy. It just was genuine. I don't know, they always appeared to just have more humility, and they were rather humble, rather than boisterous about their relationships. So I do notice the difference in when I see them out and about growing up, and to this day, it's just more of a humility and more of a humbleness approach when I see their relationships. It's not mirrored in, oh, because you're white, it's because you love me because I like you and you like me. It's not, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. And that's kind of my life. When I look, I've always had attraction to Black women. I just thought they're beautiful. They're amazing. And when I was dating, anytime somebody I wanted to date, a Black woman, said yes, that was, to me, I felt like there was so much happiness, and I appreciated it. I felt like I was blessed, and I didn't take it for granted. And I didn't feel like I deserved it. I felt like, wow, she wants to date me. I always thought, that's amazing. And I was grateful. It wasn't like, hey, look who I'm with, look what it wasn't like that. It was like, and when there's true love, you don't care about what anybody thinks. You don't, you're not putting it out there. You just living your life. And I remember when I got married, that was the best day of my life, because I married a woman that loves me. That's awesome. She's far more than I ever deserved. And I was grateful. I felt like, man, this is amazing. This is awesome. And you know, and when you have true love for somebody, they're your everything. You know, just spending time with them, just being there. You embrace that time. Um, and I think black women, white men, we're finding true love. And maybe it's good that we're, and I hate to say this, maybe it's good we're shamed or, you know, people go in on us. But you know what that does? It makes us fight for each other. It makes us see things the way they are. Like, you know what? I don't care what they think. It's about us, and let's do us. Let's have our life. You know, and that actually strengthens your relationship, because when you see your wife or your husband fight for you and put you first above everybody, there's no greater feeling than that. And I'm telling you. And you don't think that'll strengthen your bond? And I tell you, in my marriage, and I've shared this with me and my wife, Sandy, when we were faced with issues, problems, haters, whatever, you know what we did to get through it? We loved each other more. You know, we spent more time together. We had more intimate moments, because that's how we got through the pain and the hurt. We just love each other more. And that made our relationship stronger. It makes us love each other more, appreciate each other more. And that's another reason I think black women, white men are more successful, because we have to fight the good fight, even before we start dating. You know, where with our counterparts, when it's you know, Becky and Tyrone, it's like they jump in together with ease. But the relationships in general don't last as long. Why is that? I think because they don't have to fight the good fight. I think it's all about the good time here and now instead of the future. Black women, white men, we look beyond the future. We're strategic in what we do. And when I was, yes, I've always loved black women and I had desire for black women, but I always looked at, I could always picture the future more than the good time here and now. Anyway, that's just, I think that's where we're at. I know that's where it's at. And that's what makes us strong. That's what makes our marriages last longer. That's what makes our relationships grow. And it rolls down to our children and grandchildren. They have a better head start. They have more stability, because our love is more than the bedroom. It's more than the good time here and now. It's the future. And I'm telling you, the physical part of love is the part of love that should come last, and it's biblical. It should come within marriage. And I know people are going to say, well, that's not the way the world is. But really, we need to love each other before the bedroom. Seriously. And unfortunately, in society, people think because they're date, they got to sleep together. No, you don't. Don't you want to, if you're going to go into intimacy, don't you want to have true love when you go into that? I'm just saying. But anyway, kind of. But, you know, that's the way I see it. But anyway, but that was a good video. I'm going to drop this one down. And I got one more videos, ladies. And I want to show this. And I want you to think about this one. Okay? This is going to be a little triggering.
Okay.
But it is the truth. Okay?
Okay.
It'll be more triggering to black men than black women, I think. I just, but this is, anyway, let me put this up here.
Yes, talking about gender.
Okay, she's talking about gender wars, and then she goes into black femicide. Okay. What's that?
Nothing.
Okay, let me go ahead and play it.
Y'all sit on podcasts talking about gender wars when the real gender war is the fact that Black women are being abducted, harmed, and murdered at nearly genocidal rates, and more often by men in our own communities. Carly Russell was recently abducted and returned to her family, but now the same people who are praying for her are calling her a liar, almost like y'all wanted her body to be found instead. Tamika Chapman was murdered after decades of abuse by her husband. Keisha Gray was gunned down in front of her 3 children by her ex-boyfriend. Jamia Harris was murdered after she told a man who was interested in her that she had a boyfriend. Asia Womack was killed by a stranger because she beat him in a basketball game. Kylie Sorrells was fatally shot by her mother's boyfriend. He shot her mother as well, but she survived. 2-year-old Winter Smith was also murdered by her mother's ex-boyfriend. Denisha Montgomery, an officer in the U.S. Army, was found dead by an alleged suicide after she reported that she was assaulted by 4 men in her unit. Fatima Warren, Deja McCrary, Ashley Burton, LaShawn Jeffrey and her infant son, Lachey Henderson, Joy Brown, Dr. Kalindra Green, Dariana Wheeler and her unborn child, and thousands of others that I don't have time to name because every few hours in this country, a Black woman or girl is murdered.
Oh my God.
Okay. That can be true, but you know what? It is true. The Black femicide rate, I think what is the number? 4.6 every hour?
It's every 4.6 hours.
Yeah, 1 every 4.6 hours, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You see those women there. They're beautiful women, right? They have their whole life ahead of them. You've seen little black girls. Why would somebody take a child's life? Because you're jealous of the girlfriend you're with or the relationship don't work? I mean, and here's the thing. And Malcolm X talked about this back in the 60s, right? Like 63 or something. About how Black women are the most unprotected, most disrespected. This was long ago. Tell me, has it gotten better since Malcolm X made that, since he did that speech?
No.
In fact, it's gotten worse, hasn't it?
Yes.
And here's the thing. Who's at fault for this? Can we say it's Black man's fault? Yes. Can we say it's white men's fault? Yes. Can we say it's America's fault? Yes. Can we say it's all our fault? Yes. The bottom line is this is something that should never happen. Okay.
Okay. Well, earlier today, I saw an article about a 4-year-old little girl.
Okay.
Who was found deceased in her mother's home. Her mom was working 3 jobs, and the boyfriend was unemployed. And he apparently didn't like the fact that mom was trying to take care of her baby, and he deleted her while her mother was at work. And the authorities were notified because she didn't show up at daycare. So her daycare teachers notified authorities that she didn't show up for school while her mother was at work. And her biological father blamed it on the system. Well, sir, if you would have married her mother and taken care of your responsibilities as a man, that would have never happened. She was 4 years old. When her body was found, she was covered in bruises. She had a black eye.
Okay. Yeah, and this should never happen to a child. This should not. Now we know this. Women of all races are unalived. We know this, right? But
Yes.
black women are. It's done to at a higher level. Human trafficking, mostly black women and little girls. And that's a problem. Okay. And we need to get out of this excuse thing like, okay, well, it's society, it's white supremacy, it's all our fault. If we don't, well, I'm going to say it is, because you know what? It might be predominantly black men doing this. There are some white men that do unalive black women, but overwhelmingly it's black men doing it, right? Well, they have more access to black women. But I say it's all our fault. And the reason I say it's all our fault is because what are we doing to fix this? Okay. I know there's legislation out there in different states. They brought less legislation forward to try to, I don't know if trying to correct it or making it a nice political thing to get reelected. But the thing of it is it's a problem in our country, in our society. And we all need
legislation.
Yeah, but let me finish it. Okay, but what I'm saying is we need to strive to do something, not just I mean, we could put a bill, legislation. I mean, that's how we got to start tackling it. Maybe I don't know. But this thing is just out of hand. And when women in our country and our society are unalived, it's not just a black community problem, it's all our problem. Because these are women in our country. They're part of our country. We're the same nationality, right? So why wouldn't we protect Americans all the way across the board? But what do you guys think? How do we fix this?
Okay,
I know you can't totally fix it, but how do we at least slow it down?
Well, legislation isn't going to do anything, because black women have all kinds of restraining orders and protective orders, and it doesn't work. They don't work. There are black women inside their apartment with their child on 911, freaking out, asking for help, begging for help, because their ex is in the parking lot tearing up their car. And they have a restraining order. Oh, big whoop. That piece of paper means nothing.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's against the law to break that restraining order, but
yeah, those niggas don't care about a restraining order. Are you kidding me?
Just like a criminal don't care about a gun law, he's still going to have the gun.
They don't care.
But how do we fix this? I got one way maybe we could slow it down, and maybe it is black women opening up their options to other groups of men. And I would say, you know what? And this might sound wrong, but I believe it to be true. Get with a man that does better than you financially, or at least level to you. And not to say a rich man can't abuse you. Okay, don't get that wrong. You still got to vet. Money don't change people, but it eliminates a lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment. We have to refund the police force or unite the Klan. Well, I'm not going to say unite the Klan because that's a racial hate group. They might enjoy the black femicide. I'm just saying. But
okay, well, what I think,
I say more police. Yes, I think I think we need to be more strategic. I think we need to vet better standards, especially with women. Look, women are more vulnerable than men because they're the weaker of the two. So you, as women, got to really vet. You really got to, take it serious. We also
black
take it
women
serious.
don't bet. Black women don't bet. The collective of black women want black men, and the vetting process is we can't. They can't vet, really, because the FBI can't vet properly. So how is a woman supposed to vet? So that's number one. So you know what? Let's leave that out of it. Okay, the black women that are ready to leave and marry outside of their race, that's their only safety. That's the only way that they will be able to live a good life. Like me. Okay?
Yeah.
And beyond that, all this other crap, it's BS.
I would say, you know what? Vetting, okay, we need to look for the warning signs, right? Well, when I say we, I'm talking to women. Look, black women especially, look for jealousy, look for somebody that's controlling, look for something that's just not right. And look, this ain't just race specific. White men can do this to you too. Just because it ain't happening in as large numbers, ladies, you got to have the same standard for every racial group of men. Hold them accountable.
Right.
Because you just never know. And look, most men aren't going to unalive who they're with. They might abuse them verbally, maybe even physically, but usually, they don't do that. But there are a lot of homicides too. But and you got to take this serious, especially in a relationship. You got to know who you're with. Ladies, don't just go with him because he's nice to you and you think he's fine. Okay, there's more to it. It just like men too. Don't go with her because she's beautiful and you're in love with how she looks. She can be an idiot. She might. There are supermodels that are idiots, that are horrible people. Okay, they might look beautiful, but they're not good for a relationship.
Right.
Okay. Just because they look nice and beautiful, don't mean their heart is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But that's not saying they're not. There's very beautiful people that are, good wives, good husbands. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get to know who you're with. That's the bottom line.
Okay, but Brent.
Yeah.
Brent.
Yes.
I love you.
Oh, thanks. Love you too.
You are a good white man. But you
Uh-oh.
give too much credit where it's not contributed.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I can't speak to other women.
Mhm.
I am speaking to Black women.
Okay.
Period. If we are going to vet as far as what do you bring to the table? How much money do you make? What kind of career do you have? Are you the type of man that is going to protect and provide for me and our children? So on and so forth, right?
Uh-huh.
That completely cancels out all Black men. It cancels all of them out. All of them.
Mm. Okay. All right. Hey, Stephanie, young lady, what do you think?
I think that we kind of have to look out for ourselves to a certain degree. I think vetting, like you said, and I think that with Black men, how Black women go out of their way to make sure they're protected. You know, how they walk the streets and all this legislation and all that stuff. We need to do that for ourselves because obviously they're not doing it for us.
Yeah.
But it's like other men from other communities are speaking up and saying, "Hey, it's not right because this is a woman. What are you doing?" And then also we have to get take self-defense classes. We have to get armed. Kind of look out for each other too. You know how they had that Black Girl Rock or whatever it was? Maybe there needs to be some type of system that I don't know exactly what kind, but I mean, I don't know, like the what do you call it? The 360 type thing, but and then when you go on dates and stuff, make sure that someone knows where you are. Just some type of safety system.
Yes. And I would say too, to elaborate on that, go to a public place, especially if it's a first date, you don't know this person. Go to where you can escape real easy. Okay? Because this dude might seem like he's the greatest guy ever, and you know, you might see some red flags that come up, and he might try something on you. Well, you should be where there's a lot of people, where that don't happen, where you're safe, and if you feel you have to get away from them, you can get away safely. And I would suggest, if it's a first date, don't let them know where you live, okay? Don't do that. And if you're a woman, please don't do that, okay? Because if they know you're alone, you can be a target, okay? And you know, and single mothers, look, you're probably even a bigger target because you'll do anything to protect your children, and these predators know this. So, ladies, you know, just be safe. And I would suggest, if you're going to date, if you can, be friends with that person before you start dating. A friendship circle is a good thing, you know. And I've said it. I don't know if you go to church or anything. Maybe being in a church group, getting to know people. You know, because it's better to know who you're dating, because you just don't know. I mean, like I said, just because how they might look professional, they might be very attractive, and it looks good, and it just feels right, but then you don't know the person inside. You know, and for women, you got to be extra careful. Us as men, we got to be careful too, but usually women aren't going to overpower us. Okay. They're usually not going to force themselves on it. Now there have been situations where women have taken advantage of men with a gun, or you know, but usually women overwhelmingly are put in bad situations just because they're the weaker of the sexes. Okay, so ladies, I mean, we could talk all night about this. Just always have an escape route and always be close. Let people know where you're at. Okay. And a cell phone is a good thing because they can track cell phone signals too. And some people say, well, that's going overboard. What you thinking you're going to be kidnapped? Well, usually that
That's
don't
not
happen.
overboard.
That don't happen, but you never know. And but anyway, okay, I'm going to stop there. Who's next? Where we?
Yeah, I agree. You have great points, Brent, that you said. Caution and giving advice. I absolutely agree with that. You get to know the person. I absolutely agree. Do not let anybody you just met know where you live. That was, great advice. And I just want to agree with Stephanie as well that Black women, for the most part, we don't put ourselves first. Everything is about Black men and Black men's safety, and um, the focus should be on ourselves. It has been said that Black women do not call the police on Black men when we are violated, if we're attacked, because we have been conditioned. We don't want another Black man in jail. We don't want the police to get him. We don't want the police to come and possibly unalive him and so forth. So a lot of Black women don't want to call the police on Black men.
Yeah.
And because the community is for the most part Black male identified, you know, if we do call the police on Black men, if we're assaulted or whatever, we're gonna be look like the bad guy. Like, why would you call the police um on a Black man and so forth? But yes, the Black femicide rate is abysmal, and all I have to say is that Black women need to pour into ourselves, think about
Yeah.
ourselves, because nobody else is gonna advocate for ourselves, and that's just all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and that's correct. And ladies, you are the treasure, you are the prize. You are the beautiful one. Remember that. Protect yourself. Don't give your beauty, your youth, your love to a man that don't deserve it. Okay? But all right. All right, Rain, what do you think about that? This black femicide and stuff, and you know, how can black women protect themselves more?
I just think you just have to put yourselves first and see yourselves as women, rather than a part of a collective. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess because I guess all of the things I've heard, I just don't experience.
Yeah.
Because I'm just non-tolerant and I just keep the flow where the flow is good. But you just have to put yourselves first. And until someone put in the comments about legislation, but until Black women take a greater position, um, and put themselves first. And I do think there needs to be a separate space for Black women here in America. It's been
Yeah.
done in African countries before, but I do think there needs to be a separation in this country from Black men, because it's just a dire, um, it's very dire right now, and Black girls and women can't prosper properly in those environments. So I would support legislation But there would just be so much pushback, but you can't look at it like that you're outnumbered. There's a lot of Black women that feel the same way I do, and I'm pretty sure the women on this panel. But until Black women take a stand and say, you know what, let's put our issues first, let's put ourselves first. If you do that, you will get the results. You will get the results of your government, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Black women have to be bolder, but I think there's a bigger fear. There's a lot of Black women that are afraid. There are a lot of Black women that are just programmed differently. So until you value yourselves, then you'll get the same results. So I don't know. I'm sorry for the women that experienced loss by the hands of those males, but I don't know. There's just no nutritional value in those groups of males. And that's what Black girls and women should look at. How is this individual feeding me? And quite frankly, Black men have had Black women on a very poor diet for several years. And so it's just really time for Black women to wake up and prioritize what they want. And they'll get it.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think um Black women putting themselves first will make you safer. I believe that. Will it solve the problem? No, but I think that'll help. I think opening up your options is going to help. I think tightening up your standards will help. And look, we all get caught up in when we want to date, whether you're a man or woman or whatever race you are. You know, we see someone we think's fine, and we just want to get with them. It I get it, but you got to go deeper. Um, and it's for your safety. It's for a healthier relationship. Um, and like I said, ladies, put yourself first. You don't owe nobody anything. Okay? You don't belong to any group of man on this earth. You belong to you and God. Okay? And whoever you decide to be with, that is up to you. That is your business. That is your right. And I would just suggest that whoever you want to be with, make sure you know who you're with. Make sure they're a good man. Make sure they love you more than they love themselves. Okay? Get with a man that wants to do things for you instead of wanting you to do things for him. I would say that's a good way to find the good man, because if a man loves you, he's not thinking about what he wants. He's thinking how he can make you happy, how he can do things for you. You know? Because true love is putting somebody above yourself. You know? And you want somebody like that. Now, of course, we all have our needs and wants, and we can't just totally cut ourselves off. But if you really love somebody, your needs and wants go out the window. I'm just going to say it. And ladies, that's what you want, because you want that man. If he's going to be the protector and provider, he's got to put you first. Because if he can't put you first, he's not going to protect you. I'm just saying. And if he's a man that feels okay on attacking women, stay away from him.
I agree. And I think a man, your wants, your needs should be a man's wants, meaning he wants to ensure that your needs are met, meaning emotionally, spiritually. It's not just like the spiritual aspect of it all. So I agree with those points as well.
Yeah. And that's what you want, because if he truly loves you, he's going to worry about you more than himself. And that's what you want. And look, when two people love each other, they think more of each other than themselves. And but ladies, don't lose focus. He's the protector and provider. He needs to protect and provide. That's not your job, ladies. Okay, you don't protect men. If you have to protect a man, well, he might as well put a skirt on, because he's not a man. Okay? you know, you're going to protect your children, your little boys, and yeah, I get that. But a grown man, no, he protects you. And if he can't, he don't deserve you, and you need to get rid of him. I'm just saying. But anyway, ladies, I'm going to close this soon. I appreciate your input on this. I think this is a topic we needed to talk about. And look, this ain't just a black community issue. This is an American issue in our country. And, you know, I know there's white people and Hispanic or Asian that might not see this black femicide that's going on, might not, a lot of them don't know what black women go through as little girls and women, and they don't know. Okay. I know a little bit because I'm married to a black woman, but take this in consideration too. My wife grew up in a predominantly white community, and I grew up in a white community. So my wife might not see some of the things you ladies see. So some of this is learning to me. But I see some things. And the gender war thing, is it a gender war, or is it jealousy, or is it there? I don't know what you call it.
I think it is, Brent. I do. I'm going to be honest. I feel like as I look back over the last several decades, I do feel as though black males have devoured the black woman's, or in an attempt to devour the black woman's image. Because if you look at it, black men have always taken the images of black women and made it their own to be relevant. And I look at men in drag differently now. I really do. It's just, I don't know, it hits differently. But I do. It is a gender war where men want to be you. And I don't think black women have accepted that. I don't think they've really wrapped their heads around the fact that black men in general want your image. If you look through social media, there's far more black boys in their mother's bonnets and robes and lipsticks imitating how their moms are. They never imitate how their dads are. And we know why. But I just do see that there is a big initiative. There is a big push for black males to be the new black woman. And I think black women need to wake up and see that this isn't cute. This isn't we're not a parody. And if we pushed back and we stopped paying, because see, black women pay for pain. And you pay for pain when you entertain males who demolish your image. If every time a black male tainted your name, every time a black male said something against you and there was a pushback and you stopped financially, there would be a better outcome. But because you cater and because you support and because you pay in pain and you think that's what you deserve, then that's exactly what you'll get. So I think black women really need to wake up and realize that your image is stolen. And now we have this aesthetic where I have a hard time deciphering who's male and female in the black community now, because there's this aesthetic going around and we all know what that aesthetic can look like. But black women need to realize these men aren't, I don't understand, but I would have a big problem with a male taking my image and making billions and billions of dollars off of it, let alone a studio. And so black women have given black men the bag, but you don't even realize you've given them your image. And I think that's the biggest wake up call. Black women need to wake up and realize that your group of men stole your identity and you need to take it back. And if you were consistent, you would get consistent results. But because there's so much confliction and back and forth, and you'll get those results. So, yeah, I do think there is. And I don't think black women realize that they're the target. We're the blueprint. Every trend becomes someone else's trend with the help of black males. They take it and exploit it. How many black males do we know? We can name at least 10 on our hands that have taken our image and tainted it, or have said, this is what a black woman is. But why do you feel the need to tell the world how you feel about black women? How do you feel as a black male? They don't have a representation, so they steal ours. So I would be for legislation. I've always promoted it. I just was told that I wouldn't live to see it because there's a lot of harm that will occur if you push back in these communities. There are people that will harm you for little to nothing. So, but there needs to be legislation created. Whether there's 10 women or 20 women, there needs to be legislation done in this country. And I do think the only people that need reparations are black women in this country, because black women have been exploited. And a lot of people have adopted our cultures here in this country. So that's just where I stand on it, Brad. I don't know where the other ladies point is, but I'm gonna drop off. This has been a great conversation. I look forward to more live, but everyone have a great evening. Okay.
Thank you so much, Rain, and I appreciate you coming up here, and you made so many good points.
Oh, no problem, Brett.
Yeah, you're always welcome. You know that. And big love to you. And thank you so much.
Thank you. And many blessings to Mrs. Sandy. Good night.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good night. And you know what? She's right. She's right. Black women's image is being stolen. And look, and it's not just the transgenders that are stealing the black woman's image. And I see that on social media. I see that out there. But you know what? Other groups of women are trying to take black women's image too. Trying to get, the body structure of black women, the curvy figure or whatever. We see that, right? And truth be told, black women is the beauty standard. I don't care what anybody says. The black woman is the beauty standard. And I've heard people say that black women have the Eve gene and this and that. I don't know, but I believe it though. I just like black women has a certain beauty that people want. They won't admit it, but look at what's happening. Look at surgeries that are happening. Look at the trans community. Think about it. Black women, you're it. You're the standard. You're the blueprint of what a woman should be. And how can any man that knows what beauty is without, having a segregated mindset wouldn't see the black woman as the most beautiful? I don't understand, but anyway, that's just my opinion. But anyway, I'll let you guys give a closing statement before I close, and then we'll go off into the night, and I'll see you guys. Hopefully tomorrow. I want to do another live, but anyway, Indiana Mom, you gonna go ahead and start it? Okay. Did you have a closing statement, Indiana Mom? I guess not. Okay, we'll start with Stephanie.
Yes, thank you for having me. Like I said, I do believe it's gender wars, but I just think, I know it's not a matter of who started it, but I'm just going to say I think it started with black guys or black men. It's just a matter of, as black women, we just want to be loved. And how they're moving, it's not showing love. So we're going to go to men who are going to show us love as we're going to show them love. And I think we have to not care about what their opinions are and just move for where we want to move.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. All right. Good points. Shelly, what do you have to say, young lady?
I have to say, what a day when the tables have turned, because black men did not see this day coming with the rise of interracial relationship with black men. I mean, with black women and white men. and is going off into other races of men as well. Um, the time that they were on social media bashing black women, putting other races above us, and saying that nobody desired us. Um, yeah. Now they're seeing the opposite. Now they're seeing that yeah, we are desired. So yeah, what a day when the tables have turned.
Yeah, and it's turning fast, and the numbers are growing, and I think it's a good thing. I think we need to do this. And look, I don't know where everybody's faith is, but I think it's God's plan that black women, white men come together and procreate and have families. And look, integration wasn't just about eating at the same lunch counter. It's about coming together as a family. And you know what? Black women, white men, we're the strongest, and we need to be together. We're the power couple. We work the hardest. We put the most work in, and we need to do this. And not everybody needs to do this, but a lot of us do need to. And we were meant to be together. Black women, white men. A lot of us are meant to be together. Me and Sandy were meant to be together. Indiana mom and her husband were meant to be together. And you know what? It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's way we can build a stronger community. Black women would be more safer. And I know people are going to hate me for saying that. Like, how could you say that? But I mean, look at the numbers. Just do your research, and don't go to these slanted polls where you have black demographics that sample 100 people and that really don't say nothing, that put it in what they want you to think. And some of those studies are back in the 80s that they haven't updated. You want to know the stats? Go to Pew Research, go to the U.S. Census, okay? If you want to research, okay? Because there are many studies, and many studies say that black women, white men are the longest lasting marriages, hands down. But there are some slanted, studies that, sample the way they want to sample. I'm just saying. But anyway, I didn't mean to go off into that. But ladies and gentlemen, if there's some guys in there watching too, I appreciate you coming up. Shelly, Indiana mom, thank you. And Rain and all the other people on the panel, I appreciate you being up here. I love you guys. Ladies, you're beautiful. You're the prize. Black women, you are the blueprint on what a woman should be. I'm going to say it. Okay?
Thank you.
So embrace yourself. Put yourself first.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You too. Thanks for coming up. All right. It was good talking to you, Shelly. And Indiana mom, how's it going? Okay. I think Indiana mom fell asleep, or maybe she lost the connection. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming up. Thank you, ladies, for being part of this panel. This was a good discussion. I enjoyed the chat. And I enjoyed everybody, talking to you on the panel. I enjoy everybody in the chat. I enjoy the kind words and, holding me accountable to God bless you for that. But we need to think about it. Black women, it's about you. It's not about black men, white men, Chinese men. It's about you, black women. Put yourself first. You've been putting everybody else first forever. Now it's your turn. Be that beautiful treasure that you are. Black women, it's your choice. The ball's in your court. Be with the men that love you, that deserve you. Okay? And I'm just going to say that. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys. I plan on going live tomorrow. If I don't go live tomorrow, I'll go live Sunday. But I really want to get this out tomorrow. Oh, and the movie watch party. I seen the votes. We're going to be doing it Tuesday. Okay, at the time I put up there. So if you want to be part of the watch party, we're going to be watching the movie Something New. And then in a couple days after that, I'll do a movie review. Okay. So if you want to be part of that watch party, it's going to be done through Video Prime. So if you have a Video Prime account, you can do the watch party with us. I could do up to 100 people on this watch party. So let me know if you're interested in that. They won't let me do it unless you're a member. You know, they don't want me to buy a movie and show 100 people free, I guess. But if you are a Prime member and you want to do the watch party, let me know. Send me an email. I'll send you the link before we start the watch party. And I'm going to start doing that. And then we'll do a movie review of Something New. That's the movie you guys picked, and you picked Tuesday. Okay? But I'll repost the day and time also. And but anyway, I got you guys' email. I thank you for your emails. Sometimes I'm a little slow getting to them, but I will answer your emails. But if you need me for anything, guys, email me at roadrunnernm89@gmail.com. It's on my community wall at the bottom, and it's also in the description box. Anything you need, just let me know. Okay? But I love you guys. I appreciate you coming on tonight, being here, supporting this platform. And the discussion was beautiful. Okay? But anyway, I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Sunday. All right? Have a good night. God bless you and your families. I'll see you soon.